video. Oh, no, let me stop. Yeah, so I'm back with another video to talk about how and why I became a gay agent. First, why? So last August, I was moving back from Georgia to New York, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with myself or where I wanted to be. I just knew that I wanted to do something different. My first job ever, I don't know if you guys ever heard of it, my first job ever was a place called Shake Shack, a burger place. And the funny thing is, I always loved working there, and I didn't know why, because literally I was flipping burgers, making fries, hot dogs, oil popping all over me, tired, working long hours. But I realized that one of the main reasons why I enjoyed working there, not only because of the people, but because I was able to travel, because they were sending me to certain places for me to help open up different Shake Shacks. I got the experience of traveling through them. So I realized, okay, I didn't like the job because I was working in a restaurant. I liked the job because I was traveling. So when I was applying to jobs, I applied to jobs that either had something to do with traveling or made me a lot of money. So I either applied for bank jobs or airline jobs. And like I said in my previous video, I went for the flight attendant position, but I didn't get it. Now, I did apply for flight attendant positions with other airlines, as well as gate agent positions at other airlines, but I happen to go with the airline that I'm at now. So now it's how I applied and the steps I took to get the job. Okay, now first things first, I applied sometime in August of last year, and I would say it took about 2 weeks to get my video interview. Now, this is what I feel got me the video interview. When I did the application, I made sure I had a cover letter. I made sure my resume was on point, meaning like no grammatical errors, no caps where they shouldn't be, a good title, good objective, my name was big and bold, phone number, email. Like, all of this is important to certain jobs. Like, they want to see if you take that time out to fix up your resume or make it look good or add a cover letter. Another thing that I realized about my airline specifically is they prefer you to attach your resume than to paste it. I don't know why, but that's just something they prefer. Even though if you paste it, you can just read it. I don't know. I don't know, guys. But all I know is it's better to attach your resume than to paste it. So keep that in mind. After I put in the application, I did the assessment. Now, this is what I really want to talk about. The assessment, guys. You guys have to keep in mind that the assessment is only meant to see how consistent you are with your answers. That's it. Nothing else. A lot of people think like it's trick questions, they're trying to trick you. It's really not. They're asking the same thing over and over, just in a different way, just to see if you're going to keep your answers consistent. That's all. So for example, one of the main questions that's always asked in a lot of assessments, I prefer to work by myself than with the team. But then a couple questions later, you'll see I'm not really a team player. I feel that majority of my work is better done alone. Same question, just asked different ways. Next, after you've gotten past the assessment, next is the video interview. Now, with the video interview, you guys want to keep in mind that they're not looking for specific answers. I feel like a lot of people mess up in the video interview because they feel like they have to answer in a way that they think the company wants to hear, instead of just answering what they actually want to answer, like the truth. Some key things you want to remember to have during the video interview. You want to have natural lighting. You want to dress professional. Now, you don't have to dress professional from the head to the toe. For me, I had on a nice button-down shirt. I pulled my hair back. If you want to beat your face, by all means. I just put on some Vaseline, had the trusty dusty lipsticks, and I was good to go. I can admit that out of all 6, I believe I had 6 questions. Out of all 6 questions, I think 2 or 3 of them I messed up on. One of them for sure, I pretty much stopped in the middle of the video and I said, okay, you know what? Let me start over. I'm rambling, let me start over. I did this in the video, during the video interview, and started over from the top, answering the question. Still made it to the face-to-face. They're not looking for you to answer things in a certain way, or they're not looking for you to say what they want, what you think they want to hear. They want you to be yourself. They want to see how you are when you're doing a video interview, when you're looking at yourself and not just a video interview, a live video interview with someone else. Because it's not with someone else. You're only looking at yourself and you're answering the questions and you're looking right at yourself. I believe you have the option to turn the video part off, where it's just black and you're just looking straight at a black screen. But I mean, why do that when you can look at yourself and you can see how you're looking? You can see if you have a piece of hair sticking out or anything. You can correct for the next question. Something else, I don't know if you guys are familiar with STAR format. So pretty much the STAR format is situation, task, answer, result. That's pretty much, in my opinion, the best way to answer interview questions. I was using the STAR format before I even applied to my company, so I was already familiar with that. When I did my research on what I should do for the video interview and how I should answer my questions, I realized that my company is big on the STAR format, as most airlines are. So if you guys aren't familiar with the STAR format and you don't know how to answer in STAR format, it would be best to either Google, search it. It's a whole bunch of videos on YouTube about it. I can make one if you guys want. Yeah, you just want to answer, basically you want to talk about the situation that happened. What were the tasks you took to resolve that situation? The task you took, what was the action behind it? What ended up happening? And overall, what were the results after the whole thing? That's it. If you answer all your interview questions in the STAR format, I guarantee you, you will, well, 90% get the job, in my opinion. Only because I can't say that I've gotten every job that I went for, but majority of the jobs that I've gone for and I've answered in STAR format, I've gotten a job. So I'm just putting that out there. You always want to smile and you just want to be yourself. Like I said before, don't answer in a way you think they want to hear or say something you think they want to hear. Answer in your own opinion, in your own way. Another thing that I realize is some people would just say something like out of the blue, like something so crazy, and they can't back up their answer because it just sounds crazy. Be truthful, even if it's not a big situation that may have happened, but if you know you took certain steps to handle it and you know eventually that person walked out with a smile on their face, or that person was genuinely happy with what you did or helped them out with, tell them that, like, let them know this is what you did. See? Simple. After the video interview was the face-to-face. Now with the face-to-face, my key things that I would say you should definitely do when you walk through the door, because when you walk through the door, it's all eyes on you. You don't know who's recruiters, or you don't know who's just regular people go for the job. Sometimes there's people sitting in the group interview with you that actually works for the company. So you never want to say certain things or do certain things around people that you don't know who they are. You want to walk in there, I suggest sit in the front immediately. They give you the option to just sit wherever you like, but I just sat in the front just because I knew that they were going to be, you know, giving demonstrations and showing certain things, and it shows a lot when you just automatically sit in the front as opposed to being told to come up to the front. So be engaged. You want to write notes. I always have a book, always. I always write down notes. I always ask questions, or I come with questions. One thing that my mother always taught me is when you have at least 3 to 5 questions to ask your interviewer, especially questions that they weren't expecting to answer, it throws them off, but it keeps that remembrance of you. Because if they're interviewing 50 plus people a day, and you're not going to get called back for the job until like a week or two later. You want to do something to remember them by, not only just, you know, wearing something that may make you stand out, but asking questions. Like, usually people always ask, do you have any questions for me? You always want to have a question or two, always. That's just me. You don't have to, but that's just something that I do on almost any interview I've gone on. Something else, like I said, be yourself, answer in star format, be honest with your responses. Another thing is, a lot of people are scared to go on interviews or do interviews, especially a lot of my friends. I have a lot of friends that they always say like, oh, well, Akiva, I'm not like you, like I'm not social, or I can't communicate like you communicate. But you've been in situations, whether it may be have been in school or at work or with family or at a church or community or anything, you've always dealt with people sometime in your life. So when you're answering questions, it doesn't always have to relate to the job itself. If they're asking you a broad question like, when was the last time you dealt with an irate customer and how did you handle it? It doesn't have to specifically be a customer. You could have been in a store and somebody was upset and you helped that person out. That helps too. Like, that shows like, okay, you can sit there and just help somebody out that you don't know, you didn't have to help out. That shows a lot too. You don't have to always relate it back to work, even though they would like for you to. Not everybody has had a lot of jobs. Not everybody has been in those situations. So, you know, just relate it to anything, school, life, anything. After my face-to-face, it was funny because I did not think that I got the job. Even though I felt like I did everything I was supposed to, I didn't think I got the job because when she walked me out, it was funny because it looked like she was walking me to the elevator, and I was like, what's happening right now? Like, where's she taking me? And then we went to this like little side room, and then I walked in there, and then it was some other people for the company, and they basically was like, congratulations. And I was shocked because she turned around and she was like, you thought I was walking to the elevator? And I was like, it looked like it. So she pretty much was tricking me. But I can say that the overall experience for my specific job, I would say it was a lot for me because I never went through that interview process before. But I feel like I prepared myself because when I applied, I immediately went on Glassdoor and Indeed to check to see, okay, what is it that they look for? What is it that they want to see? Once I realized that I didn't have to fake it, or I didn't have to actually say certain things that I knew nothing about, and I just had to be me, I knew I had it in the bag. And of course, you know, my boyfriend and all my friends told me I had it in the bag, but you know, sometimes you get discouraged, especially when you're going for something you really want. But what I would say is, if you know this is something that you really want and something you really want to succeed in, but you feel like you've applied many times and you haven't gotten it, step back, figure out what it is that you're doing wrong. And sometimes you may have to record yourself just to see how you actually talk and, you know, just speak to other people. Sometimes it's about how you're bringing out your answers and your responses. You may think you're saying it a certain way, but maybe you're talking too much to where they don't understand it at all. Who knows? But you won't really know unless you sit back and evaluate yourself. I had to do that many times where I was basically like, okay, I applied for this job, like, why didn't I get it? Luckily for me, for this specific job, for my airline, I did only apply once. I know a lot of people who's been applying for a long time and haven't gotten in. Honestly, I really don't know what I did differently. I just think, like I said, I was myself, and I did a lot of research before I actually did my video interview. The video interview, you get about 5 days to complete it. When I got it, I did it on like the 4th day, because I really did a lot of research to see like what is it that they're looking for. And a lot of the people on Glassdoor or Indeed who got to the next step, which is the face-to-face, they pretty much put up their tips and tricks, and I took it all in. I soaked it all in, guys. Like, I literally went through a lot of different posts, a lot of different websites to see, okay, what is it that I need, like, to get into this position. And that's pretty much it. how and why I became a gate agent, and I'll see you guys soon.